Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for September 11, 2022. We have some great news in the Masterpiece department. Several things going on there, including better pictures of the new Prime. We also have some Grizzler stuff going on. There is a very short window of time. You can order as many Grizzlers as you want for the Masters of the Universe, but you got to get it in by the end of today. More stuff added to the Target Fall Geek Out NECA mostly, but they're doing a pretty good job. There's a lot of stuff flowing and even more to come. Robin Toys updated some pictures of their prototype, the Red Gullwing, and it's shaping up to be pretty nice. And not much new news in Star Wars. There's some sales and discounts and stuff like that, but we are going to talk a little bit about Star Wars. This and more coming up. First off, what's new at Show Z? Incoming right now is the Outback, the FT52 Fans Toys Aussie. And this looks to be a pretty good Outback, and people seem to like it so far. And yes, it's a couple of weeks later than some of the other distributors getting it in stock. They are getting it in stock. It is $99.99, and you can place your order for it right now. So there's also a Tunshi Studios, a 1/12 scale SNK licensed Metal Slug 3 Arikasa Moto, and this is $109. This does have quite a bit of stuff going on with this. Got a figure, head sculpts, 3 pairs of hands, costumes, green horse clip, a white vest, pair of shorts, belt, wrist pads, knee pads, socks, belt pack, pair of boots, handgun, miniature submachine gun. You get a lot of accessories with this. An axe that can be split in a T-shaped stick, grenade, S bullet box, S bullet effect, L bullet effect, ammunition box, love letter, treasure chest, all this kind of stuff. But what really strikes me, it is $109 for a 1/12 scale figure, but it's something that I just don't see anyone else making, and SNK all over it. Pretty cool, pretty exciting. Also, it shows you the sales have begun on this Galvatron, the Fans Toys FT16 T Sovereign. And this is the toy version, toy coloration. I did a review on this one. It's on sale for $220, which was the original pre-order price of this. And I do want to say that they have had this on sale, and I got an adjustment. So I guess I paid more than that price when I bought mine, and then they adjusted me back. But I have a total of $51 in adjustments that they've adjusted to me in credit to use towards my next purchase. And also, up for pre-order at Show Z is Optimus Prime, Magic Square's Masterpiece 2.0. Now, this thing does look to be very nice. So we've got some pictures, and there's a video floating around out there, which I am not going to share. I am going to share a Fans Toys video, though. But it does look very highly articulated. It's very nice looking figure. But one thing I want to point out, though, is it does kind of look like it is just bare plastic like they usually do, and I'm guessing down the road we'll get a painted version. I don't know price. It's a $1 down if you pre-order at Show Z. So still a lot of questions about this, but it is kind of exciting. It does sort of seem to rival MP44. Maybe it rivals MP44. Maybe it's better than MP44. Maybe it's right on par. It does seem to have still sort of a stockiness to it. It is more slender than their previous 1.0 version. You can get an opening chest right here, which is pretty cool. And so with that, you got the Matrix and all that kind of stuff. Kind of everything that you expect, but it looks really good inside. And so I do think that I'm on board with this one, but I would actually rather get a painted version like they just recently repainted their first one. That looked fantastic. They did a pretty good job with that paint job. Hopefully they can do the same level of paint to this one down the road, but still, even without paint, it looks fantastic. And just the new design is sort of in a way copying MP44, but the transformation doesn't copy MP44. So reporting a couple weeks, last week or the week before, about this Get Right Robot making an Alpha Trion. Now this is Sony at TM Reviews on YouTube, so go to TM Reviews on YouTube. He's the one that had this commissioned to be made for him, and it looks fantastic. It looks phenomenal. He did a whole video showing them the making of it and all that process. So really a phenomenal job he did with his video there, and it's pretty exciting. This is just some custom work that's out there. And so one good thing about custom is what could be done, show these third-party companies. But the big negative to seeing these customs is I want one. You know, people are like, where can I get something like this? Well, guess what? You can get something similar to this. Now, you can get the Like Toys. This is a 3D printed one, non-transformable Alpha Trion. They call it something else, and you know, I'm really supposed to call it whatever name they call it. But anyway, you can get this. It is $185 shipped anywhere in the U.S., I believe. International, I'm not sure, but maybe a little bit more shipping internationally. So you got to get with them on that. But it does look really good, and even though it's got some of the 3D lines and all that kind of stuff, it's 3D printed, but there's also going to be a dark version. I forgot what they call the dark version. So still, if you want an Alpha Trion, there's avenues to get one. So MMC has put out more pictures of their Rewind. And so this is the large cassette size tape, not the mini cassette. So this is bigger scale. And, you know, it's kind of like up to you. It's the scale is in your mind. And what do you remember it? So if you want the larger ones versus the smaller ones like Takara and Fans Toys are doing, then you can get the larger ones with MMC. Hopefully it comes out soon. They keep showing pictures. So I'm thinking all these cassettes are on the way shortly. They're usually around $75 a piece, $60, $70, $75 a piece. And then sometimes they come paired as a bundle, a little bit cheaper. Hopefully they get the price down on that. They don't have a ton of paint on. They're not overly excessively painted because everything on it transforms. It's just quite a bit of a transformation to get them into a cassette. But there's the cassette, and I'm looking forward to these. I mean, this is like 3 years, 4 years waiting. So we got updates on Fans Hobbies Master Builder MB23, and it's kind of showing it, I think that's showing it to the G1 toy, a comparison to the G1 toy or something along those lines. But anyway, it does look pretty cool. You see the Power Master that can be inserted in there, and I think you can just cover it up. You can either have a cover over that, or you can have the Power Master on there. So that's kind of cool. And still, I have these figures when they made them with the Titans Returns era, so I don't know a whole lot about them. So seriously, it's a pretty cool design though, and the whole gimmick, how they combine into a big giant ship, is pretty cool too. Here is the bot mode, and it looks clean, really clean. So yeah, it's one of the things I just never really thought that this company made the figures so clean. They were usually like bigger and bulkier, like they bulked up their figures, but this is a nice slender clean look. So I really do like the way it looks. It's almost like they're turning a corner on their aesthetics. But then again, I don't really have much of their stuff, but it looks so good. And I might have to pick it up. Might have to pick the set up because that's going to be a pretty awesome set, and it's going to combine and do a lot of cool stuff. Fans Hobby has pictures of their MB15A / 15A. And so this is what I'm talking about. They pick bulkier characters usually, and so that's why they look kind of beefy and bulky, and that's kind of my thought of Fans Hobby. So it does look pretty cool. This is a repaint. They've done this before, and I'm not exactly sure what they're going for with it, but it still looks pretty good overall. Here we go in the alt mode, and that looks like we expect. We've come to expect, and we've come to see from Fans Hobby. Okay, so Fans Toys has put out a coming soon video for their hoist. And the cool thing about this, they call it Hitch. It's FT26, so that's an old number and all that kind of stuff. But it does look pretty good, and we just recently got their Trollbreaker, and that Trollbreaker looked pretty good also. So one thing is, will I like this better than X-Transbots? That's kind of my mindset. The X-Transbots is pretty solid, so it's one of their better figures, one of the more sought-after figures. So with that in mind, is that something that's going to be a replacement, or is this thing going to sit on there on the market for a while? I mean, it's not hard to get a Trollbreaker from the Fans Toys, so it's probably not going to be hard to get this one. The obligatory mask, I'm sure you can set up a whole scene now. Everybody's got the obligatory mask with that. Here's the alt mode, and the alt mode does look pretty good. It's like what you expect. I mean, there's some odd stuff about the alt mode too here and there, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to see the alt mode that much. 5 minutes at the end of a video, in the middle of a video, so other than that, I'm not really too concerned about the alt mode, but it does look okay. It does look pretty good. I think there's other ones that do it better. So yeah, it's kind of exciting for the next Fans Toys, but it's a replacement item, so it's a little bit less exciting. So anyway, coming soon, Hitch. Okay, so last week we saw the teaser for the Nemesis Prime / Black Convoy for the Bumblebee movie, Masterpiece Scale, Takara, and this week we got better pictures, so pretty good looking pictures. This is pretty much what you'd expect it to look like. Looks pretty good overall. Decent looking Optimus Prime repaint there. Here goes the alt mode, and looking at the alt mode, there's a lot going on. It's kind of busy. It's kind of, yeah, that's an alt mode. There's a lot going on there, but that's Prime, Nemesis Prime. So anyway, I'm sure people are going to be in on this, excited for this, so pretty cool. Due out in March of 2023, approximately $168. And Takara's showing off their train bot, so they have yet another train bot coming along. This is the fourth one, so it does, actually this one kind of looks a little bit better in the lower leg area than some of the other ones, but you know, I guess it all depends on the type of train and how it transforms, all that kind of stuff, or what part of the combiner it's going to be. So anyway, it's kind of green, it's kind of orange, looks pretty interesting. I think it's like around 190 or something along those lines, and it should be, well, I think it's not going to be out this year, but anyway, there it is, the fourth train in their Raiden project. There's a ton of Legends news, and so if you've been paying attention to the Masterpiece scene, this MHZ Toys has been knocking off some of Fans Toys stuff, and so I guess they're knocking off some New Age, and so MH Mini 09 mini series Tyrannosaurus Rex. So this is a Grimlock, and I'm thinking it is a knockoff of the New Age, and I've analyzed that, looked into it. They throw a few extra pieces in there, some extra stuff in there, I guess, but I'll be getting the New Age one to review pretty soon. Here he is in his robot mode, and just analyzing the foot and the inside of the thigh and the waist and just every single aspect of this except for the inside of the leg. The inside of the lower leg just seems to be covered up somehow, but I don't know if they're going to include fillers or they're just not showing all the inner workings of this render here. So still some stuff to iron out. I don't know how much it's going to be. Availability, will Show Z carry it? Will other places carry it? I don't know. Speaking of New Age, they showed package of the Air Guardian. Here's the thing, I was a little surprised that Magic Square showed theirs. They showed theirs way before New Age. The New Age just comes out of nowhere showing that they have this figure they're making, and now they've already got the packaging. And when's this going to ship? So it's like they're moving way faster than Magic Square on this. Where's Magic Squares, and where's updates for Magic Square on this? So kind of confusing, but hey, it looks good. It does look good. Both options look great, and looks like this thing's going to arrive sooner than later. So we got pictures of Magic Square's repaint of some Multiverse Legendary Heroes Warrior. So this is pretty interesting. It's an orange version of their Cyclonus, and so here it is. That's a really nice mold. It's an excellent looking figure overall, and then New Age presents very well. So there's some of New Ages that are just home runs, like knock it out of the park, that Magic Square can't beat. So that's why competition is good. It's a lot of fun, and you just pick the best from each company and build your own shelf. You know, that's just how it goes. And I like Magic Square designs most of the time, but not when it comes to Cyclonus. They win. That's a huge win for New Age. Now, I haven't heard of Pangu Toys, so I guess I should look into it a little bit more, because they're already up to PTO2, the Mighty Miracle God, and it's a robot that transforms into a rocket base. So, there it is. It doesn't say Omega Supreme. It looks good. It looks like a really nice looking Omega Supreme. Almost a lot like the DX9 version I got on my shelf there. So, but it's going to be smaller. It's going to be Legend scale and all that kind of stuff. Here's the alt mode that it turns into, the tank, the rocket base, all that kind of stuff. Now, it does say that it has LEDs, light up LEDs, that kind of stuff. I don't know if it has a motorized function in it. I'm kind of curious if it does. I don't think it does. But it said LEDs and other something or another. So I'm curious, though, what's the other parts that are included. So still looks pretty good, and this might be a whole lot of fun. It might be a nightmare to transform, but it might be a whole lot of fun. Who knows? Still looks pretty good. And I don't know. Are they copying DX9? That might be what they're doing. It does look really good. So, staying with some smaller figures, but not getting into mainline just yet, we've got Super 7 and the reaction line, the Transformers reaction line. This is Grimlock in his G2 colors, in his Dinobot mode, which looks pretty cool, which I don't have one in a Dino mode yet, so I might pick it up. Now, I'm kind of staying away from the $18 price point for these. If I find them for $12, $13, $14, like I was at GameStop, and, well, when ThinkGeek was still a thing, that's when I collected these. But since I haven't been finding them in the wild for cheap, I haven't been picking them up. But I can't deny the fact that it does look pretty cool. It is really some cool stuff going on here. Here is the toy version of Galvatron G1. They call it G1 Galvatron. Now, the thing about this is that these are supposed to be Target exclusives, I guess. And so I haven't seen them yet. But usually Target exclusives show up in droves. Like, there's just like 20 of them on the shelf. And I haven't seen them yet. So I'm curious what's going on with that. I wonder if it's like my area gets little to no NECA. Does my area also get little to no Super 7? Curious about that too, but these look pretty cool. I'm curious if anybody's in on these. The cool thing is the card back. The collect them all and you get a checklist. I love this kind of stuff. This is really exciting. It does make me want to get them all, even though they're expensive and I'm not able to get them all for the low price that I'm looking for. But still, with that, there's some new ones on this list that are showing up that, well, we haven't seen yet. Cyclonus, Ultramagnus, Rekgar, Sharkticon, Quintesson, and Unicron. And it's the Unicron, if you can look at it, it's right in the middle on the left. It's actually a prototype of what the G1 toy would have looked like. Super 7 does some cool stuff. I mean, there's people out there that hate Super 7 like crazy. They crazy hate them. But you have to admit, some of the stuff they do is pretty cool, pretty obscure. Nobody else would be doing it if it wasn't for Super 7. So, anyway, pretty interesting. So anyway, not much going on with mainline Hasbro kind of stuff right now. We have Takara Tomy Mall putting out their versions of what's going on with the Speedia 5000, all that kind of stuff. And with this, Speedia is a 500. So with this, this is what's coming in stock in UK retail, and you can see all these figures going on here. Now, it's distributed a little bit different over there, I believe, because it's a Walmart exclusive in the US for the Speedia 500 collection, and so over in other countries, it's different exclusives, or maybe it's not exclusive at all. So, and looking at this right here, they are getting some Titans in, they are getting the Motormaster and all that kind of cool stuff. And they are getting the Soundwave, which is kind of strange because it's Siege Soundwave. Out in Canada, they're finding the Predacon retracts for Beast Wars, and Beast Wars is pretty cool. I've just recently redone my Beast Wars shelf. I haven't talked about it so much, but more or less to accommodate Robotech. I don't know how many Robotech fans are out there, but anyhow, this is one of those things that if I catch it on clearance, I will. If I don't, I won't. I don't know much about the character, but it's kind of interesting and cool, and to get to see it again at retail, I guess it's kind of fun. And people are finding in Canada Wave 2, so Wave 2 of the Legacy. So cool stuff. I think this one was found in Ontario GameStop. So a lot of fun. Check your GameStops over there. GameStop's the place, and Toys R Us up in Canada, from what it sounds like. Okay, so we did get pictures of the dark version of Perceptor, and so this one, I believe, Shattered Glass one. So we've been seeing like bits and pieces of pictures now. Someone's cooking it up over here. Who is that? Is that Cheftron? Yep, it's Cheftron cooking it up. So there we go with a nice comparison to this. Still, I do not have and have not seen in person Studio Series version of Perceptor. So pretty cool. I'm curious if anybody else has even seen Perceptor at retail. Is this one that is it online only right now, or has someone actually seen it at a Walmart or a Target? Because I haven't seen it. But anyway, there is the Shattered Glass version. Here's the alt mode, and the alt mode does look pretty good. Just pretty simple. It's a pretty simple figure. It's really, like I've said in the past, it's hard to script Perceptor, and so yeah, looks good. Okay, so over at a site called Previews World, they're having an exclusive lunchbox and thermos that is $25. And so the only reason I'm talking about this is because I have to admit, when Hastings had pretty much this exact same, a very similar type of lunchbox, but mine was blue, I bought it. But it was $13 on sale or something along those lines. I went ahead and bought it because I just thought it was so cool. I still have it. So this is something that just kind of reminds me of that, and it's great art. It looks fantastic. I don't know if anyone would be in on this, but getting these old lunch boxes and getting them with some really good modern updated graphics and all that kind of stuff, that could be kind of fun. There's a huge lunchbox collecting market out there. I know a few people that collect it, and it's kind of crazy. And there's a lot of history behind it, and of course the Rambo being the last metal one, all that kind of stuff. So kind of fun. Okay, so switching from Transformers to something else. Now we're going to talk about this guy. So the thing is that Grizzler is up on Mattel Creations right now today, and they say up until midnight Pacific, but just get it in by like 9 o'clock so you're good. You can order as many as you want. You can order 5, you can order 7, you can order 100. And this is the first time that they've actually had an open window of ordering, and you can order as many as you want. Now, the first set that they had that was already produced went up Friday morning, and those sold out in 5 minutes. So, thinking about it, it sold out in 5 minutes. The only reason it took 5 minutes, though, was because it took the site that long to process. If the site could process faster, then it would have sold out in 30 seconds. So, that's with knowing that the next day you're going to be able to pre-order as many as you want. So, I don't know when things will be out. People speculate anywhere from 3 months to a year, but I don't know because they still have to get produced. So, still no, I don't know. But we got pre-orders and stuff at BBTS, Entertainment Earth, some past waves that are taking 6 to 8 months to show up. I imagine 6 to 8 months is probably for this guy. Alright, so sliding into Ramen Toy, they're making something for Masters of the Universe. Now, this is a third-party display stand, and you can put your figures in it. Origins, I think if you want to, you could probably put Masterverse or Classics with them. Either way, it'd be fine. But it's set up to fit Origins or original vintage card backs and those kinds of things. And it's set up where it's basically like a 3D, the explosion rocks. And that's cool. I think it's really cool. It's 3 different colors. You can pre-order these for $10.90 a piece. And that's going to be on the RamenToy.com site. So, starting September 15th. So that's when it's going to start. So, it looks pretty cool. I just want to give you a heads up on that one. So there's updated pictures of their red Gull Wing, and I'm really excited about everything Ramen Toy's making. I've been keeping up with buying pretty much everything they've made and reviewing everything they've made. So this here is a painted prototype, and it looks really good. Now, I was one of those first people saying I didn't really think we needed this because we already have it, but this thing is going to function better than the original. And on top of that, look at all the extra added detail that's going to be on the inside of it. And so they're going way above and beyond what we saw with the original back in the day. And again, if you want to buy all the Ramen Toy stuff that's going to be part of their Machina line, Machina, like Ex Machina line, then you actually don't, you can skip this if you want to, but I think it's one of those things that you probably would regret. Look at all of the detail on the inside of the door, and it just looks so good. It really does look really good. The figure's going to have articulation, but it's going to match the scale and everything with the original. Now, one of the things, the original has issues with the wings staying up over time. It has issues with when you collapse it all down, closing and covering everything up. And let me just tell you this one is going to be way more solid. And I got to tell you, I was confused why they did this, but this is like the 3rd or 4th time they built this thing. And we've seen other prototypes in the past. So this is another, like the prototype before they go into production. So it's just a lot of work they put into this over and over and over until they get it right. And they still wanted to work things out. The last time they had one that looked like it was almost perfect, but still looks fantastic. I'm pretty excited for it. So according to histank.com, there is a sale on the G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes Scarlet for $6.95. I think it's gone back up. It's up to $13 now. Here's the thing. These things are going to be fire sold everywhere. Eventually, Walmart's got to put them to $5 to get rid of them, or even cheaper. Or they're going to have to just scrap them. They're going to have to send them to discounters or something like that, where they try to sell them for $10. I don't know what's going to happen. But anyhow, these figures have been clogging shelves for almost a year, and they're not going anywhere. But why would you want to pick one of these up? Maybe if you do customs, custom fodder, these movie figures would be great for customs, repaints, and all that kind of stuff. Alright, let's talk about this week's Target Fall Geek Out that happened on Friday. And so all this stuff here was available. I'm going to quickly cover it, and then we'll look a little bit deeper into one of these. But first of all, you've got the Donatello that looks like a mummy, and you got some Hello Kitty and forgot the Tuna Makata, whatever, plushies. And then we have Token Razor, which people have really been wanting that Toka and Razor, and I guess it was missed last time. So the last Geek Out event we had, these were in short supply, and now there's plenty of all this. All this is still up. I didn't check the plushies, but maybe the plushies have sold out. But all this stuff is still up for pre-order right now. And then you've got Doc Brown Ultimates, and you've got the Turtle Kids there. They look pretty cool. And Robocop. Now, I picked up pretty much one of everything. I did get 2 Robocops because I think it's really cool. I'm going to open one and keep one sealed. and I think that this is a good mold that they made back in the day. We'll have the hip action shooting, I believe, and all of that. Plus, they added some an extra head sculpt and the blast effects and that kind of stuff, and that giant rifle. Now, a lot of this is all reused stuff for the most part. Most of this has been reused from other iterations of Robocop figures they made over the years. But for $32, I mean, now BBTS is charging $37 and Walmart are charging $35. So if you find them there, so Target was still the cheapest. If you have a red car, 5% off. But I think I will be, well, I definitely be doing a review of this guy when it comes in. Okay, I gotta say, literally no news for product that I could find for Star Wars other than clearance this week. I don't know how I'm missing it, what's going on out there, but media. So there's 3-episode premiere streaming September 21st of Andor, and so with that, I'm gonna give it a shot. I know a lot of you are not gonna even give it a shot, but I'm gonna give it a shot. My family likes watching this kind of stuff. It's family stuff. We all give it a try. One of the kids falls off halfway through it. The other kid might make it through it. My oldest son might make it through it. My youngest will definitely give up in the middle, but then we get to The Mandalorian is coming soon. So there's a trailer out there for The Mandalorian, and I still haven't had time to watch it. And then there's a trailer for something else too. So the next season of Mandalorian is pretty exciting. My family, we all watch all of that. So that's, I guess, the only hit that they got going on right now. Then there's Tale of the Jedi original shorts streaming October 26th. So I don't know what that's about, but there's a trailer for that. So I'll be checking that out pretty soon too. So the Bad Batch 4-pack was on sale for $45, and now it's back up to $60. The reason I'm even going to talk about this is because this is something that actually does not make sense. How is it a Bad Batch 4-pack, but it's not the Bad Batch themselves? So I don't get it, but this thing is clones. Anything sort of clone-ish will sell, I guess. But this has already hit a clearance, and it's probably going to get cheaper. What usually happens with Amazon, if it's actual Amazon or not third parties, is they start stepping it down until it gets to like a ridiculous low amount, and then they just sell out. So I wonder if they're going to be doing that with it anytime soon. And there's reports that this Droid Factory Set is coming in stock at Shop Disney. I just clicked on it. It's either sold out or it's not in stock yet. I think this is a really cool set because I like probe droids. So I bought the heck out of some Black Series probe droids because I think they're really awesome. And I got the Elite probe droids. Now this is a 3.75 inch scale, so it's a bit smaller, but still pretty cool. And we could use a probe droid in like a vintage collection box. I'm not sure if they've done one yet or not, but that would be kind of cool. It would be kind of something fun to have as a probe droid in a vintage collection box. But anyway, I like these droids. I like the set. It seems pretty cool. Not sure how much they are because, again, Star Wars stuff going on clearance, and I guess the clearance stuff sells, but as a lifetime collector of Star Wars, it seems like I'm just shocked how badly the ball is being dropped and they're losing interest. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this week's Weekly News Review. Is there anything else interesting going on out there that I missed and I didn't talk about? I'd like to keep up with what's cool, what's going on. Hopefully I helped you guys find some deals, and hopefully if you need a Grizzler, you get it by the end of the day. Like, subscribe to Deer Hanger out.